Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to play Kayle in Season 11 in the mid lane, guys. We're going to be watching a very known player. His name is Druthuth. Most of you guys know him. He's very good with his main champion Camille, but he also plays Kayle on a very good level. He's currently Challenger, has about 886 LP right now. We're going to see how he carries his games in Season 11, and as we are going to watch him, I'm going to be teaching you guys a lot of stuff with that as well. So with that being said, guys, let's just get started right away. So, the runes that this guy is starting with Kayle, in pretty much 99% of all of his games, is always press the attack as the main keystone, with overheal, with alacrity, coup de grace, eyeball collection, with Ravenous Hunter. He also takes attack speed, AD, and magic resist. Now, this guy also likes to play Kayle in the mid lane. This is pretty much his main role if it comes down to Kayle. He also picks a Dorn Shield into the Sylas matchup, and this is because Sylas is a pretty hard poking matchup. He's poking a lot, which is to why Dorn Shield is so good. Now, if you're playing into a matchup which doesn't necessarily have any kind of poke at all, you can also take a Doran Ring at level 1 as well. So typically, you either want to go Doran Shield if you're playing into a poking matchup, otherwise you just want to go for a Doran Ring. Now, as far as the skill order, Druthuth likes to max his E first in pretty much all of his games so far. He then proceeds and maxes out Q as secondary, and then maxing out his W as last. Now, as far as the build, he has a very interesting build as well, which we're going to be seeing in this game in specific as well. Now, a couple things that you gotta know about when playing Kayle, whether you play her top lane or mid lane. Kayle is a very, very weak champion in the early stage of the game. You really want to play Kayle as safely as possible during the pre-level 6. Kayle is sort of like a hyper-scaling champion. Once this champion gets to level 6 and beyond, that's when you get your, the ranged attack. As soon as you get to level 11 and 16, you become like a hyper-scaling champion that can just literally 1v9. Now, of course, you can play very aggressive with Kayle in the pre-6. But it really depends on what you're going to max out. If you want to play super aggressive in the lane, you want to max your Q first, because your Q is going to do a ton of damage through just throwing it. That alone already does a lot of damage. But if you really want to scale up towards level 6 and level 11, you do have to max E. And it does make you kind of weak in the early game, but it's going to pay off after level 6. So right here, as you guys can see, Druthuth's kind of playstyle with Kayle, he's really looking into playing as safe as humanly possible. He always keeps himself in a position where he can easily farm up, which is right next to his turret. Now, in this situation in specific, there's actually a fight right now in bot lane. He's looking to see if he can actually go down there so he can help them out, although it's not really something worth. The thing is, if Kayle, if he decides to roam down to bot lane right now, he were to lose a super massive fat wave of creeps. This will make him fall behind extremely hard, so he had no choice but to go back to lane and push out this wave. Now, of course, now that the waves are being pushed out completely, he has to back off. It's like 2 massive waves crashing inside the turret of the enemy team, and obviously you're not going to be waiting for that. You want to go back. Usually as the first item with Kayle, you definitely want to look into either going for the Berserkers Greaves, or in this case, he likes to go Dagger specifically. I think this is due to he doesn't have enough gold to actually purchase the Berserkers Greaves yet, so he'd rather just go for Dagger and Amplifying Tome. But usually, as a Kayle player, you want to get the Berserkers Greaves as quickly as possible during the game, because it allows you to kite around, being able to having more attack speed, having more movement speed. It just helps a lot through both playing defensive and chasing. Now, honestly, I think that the new items for Kayle, like she actually got like a pretty decent buff through Season 11. Also, the new items, they look very interesting for Kayle. As you guys can see right here, you can definitely play aggressive before reaching level 6. Especially if you're playing as a champion such as Silas. You can like constantly like spam your Q. You can spam your E as well. As long as you kind of like position yourself in a good way, you will not really get hit by Silas. He got to level 6 right now. This is kind of the stage in the game where Kayle gets to play aggressive. Right now, at this stage of the game, all it takes is to sidestep Silas the CC. And all that's left to do is going all in. Sidestep the CC, and then going right all in afterwards. Now, in this position, Silas is about 40% health, Chaos nearly full health. The reason why he doesn't go in yet is because the jungler is currently missing through the map, right? As you guys can see on the map, Ivern is absolutely nowhere. So obviously whenever jungler is missing, you don't want to play aggressive because you might fall into the trap of a 1v2. Silas actually went for like a roam to top lane, which is good for him. But Kayle gets to push out the wave. Probably even next wave as well. This was really good for Silas, although he did lose like a little bit of farm for this. But it's still very good for him. Now Silas actually has about 3 kills right now. But despite that, Kayle, or well, Druthud is in a really good spot right now. He's like 1 level ahead of Silas. And still has like all the farm. He sees the jungler coming in from afar, guys. As you guys can see, if you don't have vision across the map, you always want to put yourself into a safe position, right? Because Kayle does not have like a good escaping ability. All you have is your movement speed from your passive and your W. Always make sure, guys, do not fall behind on Kayle, because once you start dying like a few times, you're eventually going to fall behind so hard that it's impossible to come back in this game. Kayle's like one of the champions which needs to be played flawlessly. 0 mistakes to be played to be played like really good and to snowball. He's actually teleporting. I believe the top lane is kind of like bugged right now. Very strange. Teleporting to top lane, sees like an entire fight, tries to react to it as quickly as he possibly can. Unfortunately, he doesn't really get like any assist or any kills at all. But he still takes the farm, guys. Before going back to base, now that he's top lane, it's by far the best thing to like, you know, take all the farm as much as possible. This will be a total waste if he did not take the farm and just going back. That would be very, very wasted. Goes in for like a QE cheese. This is a really good play, guys. Keep in mind that if you have if someone is very low, the lower the opponent is in terms of HP, the more damage you're going to do with your E, right? So in a situation like this, you can just pop your Q, pop your E afterwards. You don't even have to auto, you can just kill him right away. Now he just went back to base. He bought the Core of Bow, which gives 25% attack speed. Also gives you like attack supply 15 physical damage on hit. This is a very good item on Kayle. And he also took the Blasting Wind. The Blasting Wind. Now honestly, guys, the new items have just came to the game. I'm still like, sometimes I will still be reading items myself just to ensure like seeing its potential. What I find interesting about Druthud's Camille so far right now is like usually he rushes Berserkers Greaves, but in this case he's actually rushing these items in specific right now. He's not he hasn't bought like Butch yet. Now he's got really good vision across the entire lane. He's got vision in the top left brush, but he also has vision in the bottom of mid. So around this time, he can play really, really aggressive because he's got proper vision everywhere. Now, just with a decent amount of jungle tracking, he could play as aggressive as he possibly wants to. The only concern is that he always, he has to be really careful with how he's going to treat that Sylas, because that Sylas currently has about 4 kills. He's been roaming an insane amount. And although Kayle, like, he's playing pretty flawlessly in terms of what he can do, there's limits. Sylas can push very quickly and then roam afterwards, and there isn't much the Kayle can do about that. At this stage though, around this stage in the lane is when Kayle's going to win. It just takes a little bit of time now. As soon as Kayle gets to complete the item, that's also when that's when Kayle is going to completely outskill that Sylas already. In terms of also, before I forget, in terms of Swanmer spells, you want to take teleport on Kayle with flash in every game. Regardless of the situation, you always want to go TP on Kayle. If you're in a pretty hard matchup, such as, like, I don't know, Set for instance, you could also take Exhaust as a summoner spell, since that could save you quite easily. But ultimately, like, 95% of every matchup that you're going to play, you want to play with teleport. He's able to go back to base right now. He just needs to take the wave and then get back. As soon as he makes it back to base, he's going to be able to afford like a big item. Look at the farm, guys. It's not the best farm in the world. I mean, 94 CS at 12 minutes is just good. It's not super perfect, but it's good. And this is because he roamed before, right? Now, especially in a matchup like this one, it's great. This is good for him. He's got 1 kill right now, and he hasn't made a single mistake yet. Maybe he's not been able to roam that much, but the thing is, like, guys, Kayle is not necessarily a hyper-scaling champion in the early game. It's all about the mid-lane game, right? As soon as you get to level 6, 11, that's where she gets the power spike. Right now, at any point during the game is when Kayle's going to snowball extremely hard, because she, since he's playing so flawlessly, there will be a time where he gets to outskill everybody. Now, as for the first item that this guy has bought, he went for the Nasher's Tooth. This is an extremely good item on Kayle, guys. Nasher's Tooth is probably the best item that you can go for as a starter item currently. This item is just outstanding. It gives 100 AP, attack speed, and it gives the on-hit effect as well, which is just crazy. Look at that. Look, if you're maxing your E on Kayle and you get the Nasher's Tooth, you can push lanes very, very, very quickly, without really having like an old item, the ones that Kayle had before. Like, you had the Hexagon Blade before, and now you have this item, which is just really broken. So, once again, like, the kind of playstyle that you want to have as Kayle, you just want to play, like, as defensive as you can. You just want to play very safe, and ultimately, at some point during the game, is when you get the power spike and where you can do anything you want. Now here comes the Berserkers Greaves. So he currently has the Nasher's Tooth, and now he also has the Berserkers Greaves as well. You always want to get Berserkers Greaves regardless of the situation that you are in. Now currently his teleport, you see, is up as well. So during this stage of the game, he's now level 11. This is the point when you want to split push. Kayle is like an extremely good split pushing champion in the game, because once you get TP and you get level 11, you will already be able to 1v1 like a good majority of all champions, right? Kayle also has like an extremely good wave clear potential. Like, she can push down waves very quickly, and she can also remove, like, take down camps very quickly as well. So if you keep on farming the side lanes, you keep on farming the jungle camps, you keep farming the blue buff and then rotating back to the lane again, and constantly doing it on repeat, you can snowball in this game without really getting kills. This is important, guys. This is very, very, very important. A large part of Kayle's snowballing is coming from farming down jungle camps while farming down the lane as well. This is typically the kind of playstyle that you want to have if you're playing, like, you know, Kayle mid. Unfortunately, he wanted to take the jungle camp right there, but the jungler was pinging him back. Look at him. He's already level 12. Silas has been, you know, snowballing a lot through the game. He's had like multiple kills, but you see, like, Kayle, like, he's just playing so flawlessly. He completely takes his time to farm up, getting the kills, getting everything else. He's currently already ahead of that Silas. So even after Silas is snowballing, Kayle is slowly recovering from this and slowly starting to outscale him. Around now in the game is when Kayle can already beat Silas, despite being 2 kills behind. Now, as far as the next item that he buys, he's actually going for the Leeching Leer, which is also a new item for me. Seems pretty interesting. He's teleporting right behind Quinn. The dragon, like, they're fighting all around the dragon, so he immediately TPs, flanks that Quinn from behind, takes down that kill as well, and immediately pushing down the wave right after so he can take that farm as well, guys. Look at how huge he currently is. This is going to be an easy kill for him as well. He's just massive. Like, look at Kayle, guys. This Kayle is so strong in the meta currently. Look at that, guys. 6 kills already. Playing completely flawless. No mistakes. Nothing. Just completely flawless game. Now, this item does pique my interest, guys. This item gives 20 AP, 150 health, and 10% Omni Vamp. Seems very interesting. The overheal works pretty well on Kayle as well. Let's see what item he's going to build next. So he's going to finish off the item. Now he actually gets the Rift Maker. Now this is good. This is the mythic item. Now he gets 80 AP, 150 health, 15 ability haste, and 50% Omni Vamp. Let me see quickly. Yeah, this is a pretty good item. This is a really, really, really good item on Kayle. So he takes down the camp real quick, then continues to you know, rotate bot lane. He's trying to catch that Quinn that's farming out right now. If he gets really lucky, Quinn's probably going to pass. Seems like Quinn is actually, like, you know, try to secretly go through the river. Kayle's teleport is currently down, and I think honestly in this situation it would have been better if Kayle actually went mid lane, because there's about to be a fight happening soon in mid lane. As long as the team reacts to what Kayle is doing right now, then this is going to be good. Once again, guys, Druthud, Kayle is currently, like, really fat. He's like really, really, really fat. All he has to do is just 1v1 on the side lanes. It appears that the team is actually winning as well without Kayle even being there. But anyways, like, all it takes right now is to like split, see if he can take like any jungle camps. Slowly rotating with the team as well. That's also an option. Nearly takes down that Ivern like it's nothing, guys. Takes down the rep up as well. Look at that. So unbelievably fed already. Just by playing flawless. But playing really good. And not making a single mistake through the game. He's completely out farming everybody at this stage. Even completely out farming that Silas, who previously had like a snowballing game. You see, he rotates from like mid to bot lane to continue to take the farm as well. He rotates towards the blue buff to farm very efficiently, taking this. Then rotating bot lane, taking every wave here as well. Continues to farm up the bot lane. He's currently having his TP coming back within less than a minute right now. Continues to farm out, guys. Like, currently in this situation, his team is fighting the enemy team. They get like a few picks, but they don't really necessarily like do anything across the map. Meanwhile, this is happening. Like, Chaos is farming out the side lanes, taking out the waves, applying like pressure towards the game. This is very tilting for the enemy team because Kayle now currently like so strong. Also having the pressure in bot lane, continues to like take everything down. He's nearly reaching level 16, and that's when things go down very quickly. You see that, guys? He's taking down jungle camps, stealing them all from the enemy team, taking down turrets as well. There's absolutely nothing that the enemy team can do. They can't stop Kayle anymore. I think even in a 1v2 situation, Kayle is still going to win. Makes it into a team fight. Look at that. And there they go. This is like, this game is completely carried by Kayle in terms of everything. This is exactly like the kind of playstyle that you want to have if you're playing Kayle. Before going back to base though, he's taking out a few more jungle camps. I'm not sure about this. Probably doing it because he can get like an item or something like that. Takes down another jungle camp again. Just continues like farming out. I'm not very sure about this. He could have also joined the team taking out the turret. He's he takes literally everything because he wants to carry the game by his own. Also takes a rep off. Look at him. Now he's going to go back to base. He's going to get the next item. Which I think is going to be either like a Bazanias or a Rebidance. Let's see here. Yeah, he took the Rebidance. He's doing this in specifically in this game because he's already so fat. And if he buys Rebidance, like, he's going to get even more damage. Oh, now this is going to be insane. This is where things get really fun. The damage is totally insane now. He's also got the level 16 as well. All that's left to do is taking the Baron and then end the game. It doesn't really matter how long this game takes. Like, Kayle is massive right now, and it's going to get even better. It's currently on Legendary. Look at that. 8 kills. They can just continue to push. Silas can't do anything either. Whenever he gets close enough, Kayle can just cut him down. As long as Kayle sidesteps the CC, then he can just do whatever he wants. They could rotate towards the Baron right now. They could. But it would be far better if Kayle proceeds to take the farm in top lane right now. All that's left to do, like, literally the only thing that's left to do at this point during the game is to go Baron, waiting for the team to group up, force like a 5 against 5, and then we're just straight up winning it. You see the damage? Like, each auto that he's doing does like 300 to like 400 damage. Look how fast the Baron is going down because of Kayle just auto-attacking it. This is due to the level 16 and like the fact of how far ahead Kayle really is right now. Once the W gets maxed out, like the movement speed is pretty good. He's currently got the he has the TP up currently, so he can just buy whatever he wants to. Takes down all of these as well. Look at that. This game is completely done. There's nothing that the enemy team can do right now to stop Kayle. Like, she would just burn. She would just burn everything. Even diving under the turret, walking straight up under the turret, completely destroying that Silas. Does not even get a chance to breathe. Has about like 10 kills right now. Turrets go down pretty quickly now at this stage. They could technically turn around this right here, right now. But it doesn't necessarily have to. He's just waiting inside the brush, hopefully getting like someone to walk inside here so he can catch them while the team is taking the dragon. But not really anyone falls for it, except this guy. Look at this. The AD carry. I think the AD carry has left the game. So his next item is going to be the Zhonya's. And Zhonya's on Kayle is pretty good too right now. Gives AP, armor, and ability haste. That's very good. Specifically when playing against like AD team comps, this Zhonya's is fit very well into the game. The only thing I don't agree with is the fact that it does not give magic resist. That would be great if this item actually gave that. You see, he takes down like all the red buffs and everything for himself. While the team is like pushing down top lane, he's just farming out everything. Just, you know, relaxing through the jungle and everything. Removes Quinn in just a second. Doesn't even get a chance to pull off his abilities anymore. This is where the game's going to end. The enemy team can't stop this anymore. That's where the game ends. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have been able to learn like lots of things about Kayle. There's been so much that I've explained. Anyways, thank you for watching today's, Kayle guide. Don't forget to check out my live stream, guys. I'm streaming like 6 times a week. If you want to see challenge games from me, then, don't forget to check out my stream. Anyways, I'm looking forward to create the next video. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys up next time. Peace.